it was an eye-opener for me, even though I'm kind of like vaguely familiar with some of the stories that are documented inside. I think as a kind of documentation, as a kind of bearing witness, right, to what it means to live in an authoritarian state. And I think there are many people who maybe are quite insulated from some of these happenings here. And I think, yeah, so there's a chronicle at the back which kind of documents a lot of these things, whether they are draconian laws, whether they are quite, I suppose, ridiculous applications of law. And it does make for quite grim reading, right? But I think it's an interesting first step to first chronicle, right? Because at some point of time, the chronicle has to lead to some kind of history writing. And what I mean by that is that, so with the chronicle, you document what happened, this and that event happened. But the history is when you start piecing it all together and you start sort of constructing an argument about why, about this particular history of not just political repression, but also resistance. Yeah. So I actually like, for example, your essay, Kirsten, where you talk about that little vigil that you conducted. And then there was an outcome from it, right? So like the police, I think, because they had to come down, they had to deal with the fact that people wanted to find a space to grieve together, right? They actually set up some kind of like...
They set up a room for families to stay in the prison, if they wish,
Right. So I guess that's my point, that actually civil society, we have to write our own history, right? We have to say that because we pushed, because we pressured, the needle shifted. Because no one is going to write that history for us, right? So I think this book, I think, is a wonderful first step in that direction. If we don't write our own history, then we'll have people saying, oh, the government was enlightened overnight and then decided to come up with all these things themselves. It was their brainchild, but actually because they're responding to pressures from civil society. So I think we need to very shamelessly claim whatever triumphs or victories, whichever way we can.